Okay, guys. Now we're live. I'm really excited to continue this amazing podcast. Uh, this is the software session number three. In the last episodes, you could watch and learn about um, many interesting topics related to software. Now you know I'm returning to make new videos. Um if you want to watch again my lives, you can easily find the episodes in this list. You can find me on any social media like David Bermeo. If you look for David Bermeo in Google, you can easily find me. And I have LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and in my YouTube channel, you're going to find a profile. In this profile, you can see my lives. In the videos tab, you can find the last videos that I have uploaded, and in the list option, you can find the different mix. In software session, you can find my my previous videos, and don't forget, this is the most important. The first episode is this. I can find it. Is there software sessions official presentation? In this video, I talk about uh, a summary about my experience, uh, what you can do to learn software, what's the most important things to keep in mind, and I give a short summary about what software is. In the first software session, um, I was talking about programming logic. I define some main concepts like input, process, and result. Uh, I I was explaining about those topics, and in the software sessions too, I was talking about pseudocode, the difference between pseudocode, natural language, and programming language. Yeah, that's those are main basic concepts. This is the third video of this podcast. The idea is you can increase your knowledge about software, what you can expect learning software, what's the most important things to keep in mind. And I don't know, guys, this is really important. And this video is to give an overview about what are the topics that you have to know to become a software engineer. I'm gonna give you my point of view about this. I have knowledge about many topics, software topics, but I'm gonna give you um, a short summarize with important topics that you can understand. I'm gonna give a general overview, but the important thing is you can understand what's what the structure, and then you can easily study those topics uh, with me, or you can take a course about it. In internet, you can find a lot of courses, many courses, excuse me, many courses. You can find many courses in which I'm sure you can learn everything about software. And okay, let's begin. Don't forget to watch the last videos because it's very important. And in this third video, I'm gonna talk about a general idea, a general overview. What topics do you have? What topics you have to learn to become a software engineer? Uh, what are the tools and languages that I currently use to programming? And any doubt, if you have any questions, let me know. And okay, let's begin. There are many topics, but I don't know how can I start. Let me check. There are many topics, many topics. It's a big knowledge. But let me think. Where do we? Where can we start? Let me check. Let me check. I'm thinking. Mm, okay. 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 Mm, let me see. Let me see. 1 minute. Okay. I would say. Mm, I don't know if the yeah. Okay. I would say we can start with this flow. But I don't know if there is another picture maybe. But okay, I don't mind. Uh, Imagine to create any software program, we need to understand the software development cycle. Yeah, because if you want to build a software, a program, you have to understand that we have a software development cycle in which you can find several uh, several steps. Maybe you can think that like steps. In those steps or in those periods, we can find uh, planning, analysis, design, implementation, testing and integration, and maintenance. Okay. In the first step, planning. Planning it's everything you need to know why do you or why are you going to program, what's the problem, and you need a problem, you need some requirements. You have to collect some requirements for the program. In real life you can contact a client, or you can find issues or problems around you, in your neighbor or in your city, and you can say, okay, we have this problem, this is very important problem, and you can easily start your software development cycle. And you have to start with planning. In planning period, you have to uh, understand what's the problem, what are the cases, and what you can do to improve the situations. You have to think in many solutions. You have to know uh, what is going to be the requirements, and in those topics uh, you can write it down, and you can start. Okay, I don't know if you have any doubts, but this is the first step: planning. Then, when after you have planned, or after you have uh, collect informations about your program, about the problem, and after you have a knowledge about the situations and what possible program you have to you can program. You can start with analysis with the next step, which is analysis. In analysis period, you can do several things, but the most important is okay. Uh, I know what the problematic. I know what the issue, and now uh, I'm gonna think what tools, what frameworks, um, what solution I can design to solve this. Yes, uh, you can analysis the possible solutions. You can analysis the languages that you can use, and you are gonna write down this information, uh, and you can um, define and choose uh, what what is going to be the path you have to follow. Okay, that's the analysis. And in the next step is design. In design, you are gonna create some diagrams and flow diagrams, life cycles. These diagrams is for um, showing the software flow in this design. You can mm, for example, in programming, in software development, we have some diagrams like flow diagrams, star, uh, uh, unified modeling language diagrams. We have several of them, and in those diagrams, you can um, imagine uh, what is going to be your database, the tables. Um, for example, I remember last week I created some diagrams for my university studies. I remember I did this. I can I can show you. I created these diagrams, sequence diagram, classes diagram, use cases diagram. Uh, there are many important diagrams that you can do to analysis and define your solution. You have to understand this step like mm, the drawing of your project and you know imagine you are a painter or a builder. You need first a plans about what you are going to do, and you can see the plans, and then you can say, okay, these are the tools, this is the house we want to build, and what are the specific requirements to build the house. And this is the reason why we need diagrams. Yes. I don't know if you have any questions, but that's the idea. We need diagrams to understand the logic, to think in the solution, and to have a good development after this process. Because if we have analyzed the project correctly before programming, when we start the programming development period, we can start easily, and I'm sure your development would be very very good. Okay, let me see. And then we have maybe we have the software development. The software development in this step, uh, like the word says, you have to start coding, and if you have planned and if you have created the diagrams, you only have to see the diagrams and start creating the database, the classes, and the idea that you need to the program works. That's everything. And then in the next step we have software testing. After we have developed our program, after we have created the database, the classes, and we have the program ready to use, we need to test the functionalities. We need to test the the requirements. We need to be sure that our program solves the problem. We need to test the use cases. We need to test all the scenarios, bad and incorrect scenarios, to be sure that our program is ready to be deployed to an production environment. And then we have the deployment phase, deployment step. In this step, our program is going to be uh, deployment to a production, a live website. In this, to do this, we have solved tools like interface tools that we can use to do this easily. Mm, mm, for example, we have Docker and another tool that current the companies use to do this process. And then we have finished the deployment process. We have the last step that which is maintenance and updates. Like the word says, after you have developed and deployment the code, your program, after this, you know, your website or your game or your mobile applications was deployment 1 month ago, and after 1 month, the clients and the users have discovered, have found some issues, and then you can use this step to recollect that information, to try to solve that bugs, and try to develop new functionality, important functionality that can do the program better. It's imagine your program or your website or your game is like a Lego. You have many parts, and you have a first version, but after you have finished your program, you can imagine or you can think in creating another important functionality, and you can uh, and you can deploy that functionality, and then you can continue creating and deploying new functionality frequently, to have your program updated and with a big uh, functionalities to offer. Okay, this is one point to have to keep in mind. Okay, and in each one of these steps, we have software tools, software methodologies that we have to use. And basically, with when you study software engineering or when you are a software developer, you have to use several tools, several programming languages according to your experience, according to your role, and according to in which step of the cycle of the software development cycle you are. That's everything. And then I'm going to talk about some other topics related, but this is an important um, overview. This is an important diagram that you have to know to understand the software development process. Uh, when you want to start learning software, mm, you know, at at the beginning you don't know anything. You don't know how to start. That the big problem everyone. We don't know how to do. We don't know what's the correct path to learn. But I would say you have many paths. You have many options to learn. I can say this is the only way you need to become a developer. No, of course not. If you see another coworkers and another people, you can find that many people learn software in a university. Man, there are other people that learn software using online resources like Udemy, uh, Platzi, YouTube, and many others have learned programming reading books, and others have learned working. And there are many sources to learn. And I can say this is the only this is the only path or a way that uh, you can learn about software. Okay, you have to keep in mind that. And okay, I would say when, as I told you in the last meetings, we need to understand that what are the main concepts about software. You have to know what software is. Uh, the main concepts about software. You have to understand the fundamentals of software programming to start. That the main point. That the main step that you have to uh, do if you want to start well. Okay, and then after you have um, studied and understood everything about software logic, you can start doing some simple exercises using pseudocode, using pseudocode to resolve some uh, logic problems or logic exercises. I don't know if you can understand me, but I mean, you can use a list, or you can look for on internet many resources about software exercises logic, and then you can uh, create a solution using pseudocode flow diagrams. That's the that those are one of the first step that you have to do, because when you are a beginner you need to think like computers think, and you need to understand the logic. And that's why I recommend you to read some logic exercises and uh, understand the logic. That's everything. When you when you solve those logic problems, and to do that, you use diagram flows and pseudocode. Your mind start understanding the logic process, and that's the most important thing. I would say that's almost everything, and that's why I recommend you to look for exercises logic about programming, and you can easily think how to solve it, and use pseudocode and diagrams to do this. Okay. Mm, you can find several online resources to do that. For example, we have this website, retosdeprogramacion.com, that you can find some exercises to put into practice your logic. That's important. You can find others on Google or YouTube, and you can take a look about that. We have this page, solo learn to code. This is an important code that you can use to learn software development. I'm not sure if this website have English, but I think this website is for language, for English and Spanish speakers, and I think you can easily create an account, and you can start learning to programming. Uh, we can find many courses about web development, uh, programming fundamentals, artificial intelligence, small exercises, and I think it's a good way to start learning. Okay. I have this book. I don't know if you have heard before about this book, Clean Code. In the English versions, you can find it like Clean Code, but in a Spanish version is Código Limpio. This is a book in which you can learn about the best practice to develop software. In this book, you can learn about structured data, mm, programming oriented object, software programming methodologies, software design patterns, many important things that it, that are very important to develop. And you can take a look to this book. It's very useful, and this is a way to learn. You can learn anything reading. This is a good way. Uh, and we have this another website called GitHub. GitHub um, it's a website used to save code. And you can imagine GitHub like that. You can uh, you can find here many codes about software, and you can in the future, like I'm gonna do a course about this. You can save your code, and it's like Google Drive, but it's for code. That's everything. And there are many resources, documentation from GitHub that you can use to learn programming. Okay. Uh, this is a word that you have to keep in mind, because I'm sure in the future mm, you are going to have to develop APIs. Uh, mm, the idea is not explaining. Okay, okay. I don't know if you can hear me. You can hear me, guys. I'm not sure if my transmission is good. I see a error, but I'm not sure. Let me check. To develop APIs. Uh, mm, the idea is not explaining. Okay, okay. I'm not sure you can hear me. Okay, okay. I think you can hear me. That's not a big issue. Okay, that's great. Okay, guys. I'm going to continue. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, 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 okay. I was talking about API. API. Um, mm, I don't want to explain about this, but you can imagine this that the way that you can share data, uh, share data is the way that currently developers use to share information throughout device. That's everything. In the next videos, we can talk about this. Data structures programming. This is important topic. You can find on internet many examples that it's very important that you know about data structures because it's very important to any developer to understand this because if you know the data structures, you can easily create new things quickly, faster, and that's very important. We can find many many important structures like array, queue, stack, graph, tree, dynamic data structure, static data structure. This could be useful when you want to create a new program. Uh, you can find many courses about data structures, uh, array, linked, queue, stack. We can talk about this later, but I only want you have these concepts, these ideas in your mind, but we can after study this. We have software architectures. There are many software architecture patterns that we can find. Uh, I can find a good diagram, but when you want to start development, you can find many software architectures that you can use to develop. And it's very complex to explain this now because maybe you don't know, you don't understand, but you can imagine this like a way in which you can develop a new software using a strategy, using a framework. It's something like that. We have design patterns. Design patterns. This is a very important topic in software engineering. Uh, if you know design patterns, software design patterns, you can be a good developer. For example, I recommend this page. This is a useful page, and you can uh, learn about any design pattern and they have some examples using several programming languages, and that's very useful to understand the logic and the concept. We can talk about this later, but this is very important that you have to keep in your mind. We have programming paradigms. Uh, Maybe you have heard about types of programming paradigms. We have the imperative paradigm, declarative, aspect oriented, event driving. Uh, those are types uh, of styles to programming. That's you can imagine paradigms like a style. It's a style that you can use to programming. Later we can check it out. Uh, we have we have this. These are the main elements that we can find on any software language. We have keywords, structure data, control structures, identifiers, data types, sentence, code blocks, comments, expressions, operators. This is very important. I can recommend the official documentation that Python offers. If you want to learn Python or maybe Java, you can use the official documentation that Python and Oracle offers for the beginners. You can find useful information, you can understand anything, and you can take a look uh, at this because you can find many important information and expressions. You can find easily examples that you can use to your programs. Uh, this is the website for Java. You can find many uh, explications and examples about the Java language. We have UML diagrams. Uh, you can even find many courses about this topic. UML diagrams. Mm, you can imagine this like a way to these diagrams are used in the analysis and design step. You can use these diagrams to understand the logic and to draw your solution. We use these diagrams. There are another type of diagrams, of course, around the world. There are other diagrams, but this is the most famous diagram that programmers and developers use, and you can check it out later because it's a very important topic. We have the command line. Command line, developers use the command line almost every day to download a file, to create a new sentence. It's important that you know main concepts and mm, main sentence to do some useful things because the command line is a useful tool that it's very important every developer knows, and you can check it out later. You can take courses about this and you can learn some important uh, sentence that you can easily execute on the command line. We have the parts of the computer. In software engineering, you can find this at the beginning. If you look at the pensum, if you look at the summary of the program, you can find that hardware topic, hardware subject is one of the first that you can study. we have to understand what are the parts of the computer, what are the parts of any technologic device, and if you understand this, you can easily understand what how computers work, and this is very important. You can take a look of this later, but this is very important. You know the computer, that you understand what are the parts, um, what are the input devices, output devices. This is a very important topic, and it's useful and fun to learn. We have types of software. Mm, we have system software, middleware software, application software, programming software, driving software. There are many types of software, and uh, you can imagine that like a category. In real life, we have many applications, many apps. Some of them are used to communicate, communicate each other. Um, mm, other ones are used to create a new uh, a new process. Another ones is used to uh, consume information, to watch video, and uh, another one is used to is the operating system works. And this type of software you can understanding about this later, but we have application, programming, system, driver software. This is very important. You can take a look of this later. We have the outline of software development. You can imagine this like the branches that software has. For example, we have software engineering, computer programming, video game development, web application development, mobile application development, artificial intelligence. We have several branches that software has nowadays, and you can understand this easily because we have video games, we have websites, we have applications, we have many important apps that currently everybody use, and these branches you can work on any of these branches. We have many important companies around the world that use software. For example, Microsoft. I'm sure you know Microsoft. Oracle. We have Oracle. We have SAS ASE. We have Salesforce, Adobe, Block Inc., Intuit, VMware, ServiceNow Inc. We have a lot. We have many companies that around the world that um, creates software and that hire software developers. We have the artificial intelligence. This is an important topic that it's being studied and used for every company. Artificial intelligence, uh, I would say, it has a big future. In the future, I'm sure artificial intelligence will be able to create new things faster, and this is a good thing to study. You can in the future or nowadays study about artificial intelligence, and I'm sure you can easily find a new job. Uh, this is something like it's not related to software programming, but I would say if you want to be a good programmer, you can use games. You can play games like analysis games, or I don't know the right word, but you can understand or you can learn about chess, because this is an important game that you can, if you learn about this game, you can develop better logic, you can understand better and you can learn to think. This is very important, and you can use this game and another games like this to increase your strategies to learn and think better. We have many other games to learn software development. You can find many of them on the internet, and you can take a look of this later. We have agile software development. We have many software strategies to develop software. Some of them you can easily find it on blogs or books. You can find agile values and principles, and you can check it out later because it's very important. We have the software development process. Uh, this website is very useful. I don't know if you know what is Overflow. But Stack Overflow, it's an important blog that is used mm, to share doubts about software, and everybody use it's like social media but for developers. In this website you can ask questions to everyone about a issue, software issue, and you can answer questions of the community, and you can win points to answer questions. And company, mm, this company does surveys every year uh, for developers, in which they ask developers some important questions, and this information is collected on this website. You can easily take a look of this. You can find the most popular technologies, the most popular programming languages, the developers profile, the technologies. You can analyze the data to learn and to understand what is the current working working development process, and you can understand many important topics. You can use these graphics to understand everything. Okay. We have to understand what is front end, what is back end. There are many tools used to develop front and to develop back end. You can imagine front end like the visual. It's the outside of something, and the back end it's what is inside of the structure. We have many backend languages like C++, Go, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, Ruby, SQL, and front-end languages as well. We have HTML, we have CSS, JavaScript, React, and of course, each language has advantage and disadvantage. Okay. We have to understand and learn about database management system. Uh, all the information that is collected in internet and the application is stored in databases. It's important that you take a look and you learn about databases, because this is the way that currently websites use to store the information. We had many important companies and tools that are used to do this, like Oracle, MySQL Service, Postgres, MongoDB, Redis, MariaDB. You can check it out later and let me know any question, but in the future I'm gonna explain this. We have some 10 learning resources for software developers. You can easily learn about this using Udacity, Stack Overflow, Coursera, YouTube videos, Medium blogs, EDX, GitHub, social network, Plurals League, Free Code Camp, and books. Of course, you can read a lot and you can learn many important concepts and structures using books. Uh, and now I can, I want you, you understand the situation. Uh, you can you can imagine software like the building of a house. Yeah. When some group of people are going to build a house, what they do? Because software, it's it's exactly the same like building a house or building a, a, a structure, because uh, software is the same. Like the only difference is it's something digital. And when someone builds a house, it's something like you can see and touch. But software is something that you can touch, but it's something that exists, but it's digital. It's digital. That's the only difference. And you can understand better the software logic and the software concept if you know that software is the same like this. And for example, it's the same process. You need some tools, you need some plans, you need some workers, and you can imagine software like this. For example, in this video, you can find some answers that how uh, how, how many steps the builders follow to build something. Uh, you can find many resources. You can take a look of this. This is a recommend application that you can do. Here you can find a lot of information, important information, and you can understand many concepts that that are very important. No, okay. Uh, I also recommend the Harvard Extension School. In this, you can find several guides to become a software engineer. And I think currently Harvard offers some courses, some degrees to learn about computer science, like its master's degree in computer science. In this page, you can read more about it. And this program is very useful. I haven't studied in Harvard before, but I would like someday do it because I'm sure it's very useful, and it would be a good challenge for your future. But if you don't have the money or you don't have the opportunity to take this program, you can find many free courses that currently Harvard is offering, and you can do it. You can find it in its website or on YouTube. There are many videos about the Harvard courses, and they are free courses, and you can take it because it's a good way to start learning. For example, we have this course CSS 50 Introduction to Computer Science. This is very important course that you can take free. In this course, I understand there are many tutors that teach about software. The course is in English, but it's a good way to start learning English, and you can understand many important concepts and things that you can use for your work. We have this school. I maybe you have heard about this. Holberton. It's a famous school, software school that it's located around the world. You can use this school if you want to learn software engineering. You can look for more information on internet or on its social networks, and you can use it in the future. This is a program offered by Holberton in 2021. They offered some important courses, and they created a path to learn software that you can take a look of this later. And okay, uh, that's everything, guys. That's everything for today. I talked to you about many interesting software topics, many things that you can start learning right now. And I hope to start making new things, making a new project with you this week or next week. And we'll be talking about this. And okay, of course, if you have any questions, let me know. And that's everything, guys. I hope you're having a good day. Enjoy your time, enjoy your life, and don't lose your time. That's everything for today, guys. Thank you very much, and goodbye. See you later. Goodbye.